Hello, students, teachers, parents, history nerds. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nutshelled History, where we lay out the facts, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Today, we are going to continue our medieval/early modern world history series by looking at the emergence of Japan. Don't forget that there's a link for a fill-in-the-blank worksheet in the description. I just ask that you like and subscribe. I apologize for any mispronunciations ahead of time. I do my best. Okay, let's go. Early Japanese culture often borrowed from China and Korea. It was also influenced by geography. How did geography set Japan apart? Japan is an archipelago, or chain of islands, to the east of the continent of Asia. Japan consists of 4 large islands and thousands of smaller ones. It is so mountainous that very little of the land can be used for farming. As a result, many people settled on flat plains or along the coastline. Japan sits at the border between 2 sections of Earth's outer crust, known as the Ring of Fire. This region of volcanoes and earthquakes circles the Pacific Ocean. Japan is far from its closest neighbors to the west, Korea and China. These lands are part of the Asian mainland, the land that makes up the largest part of the continent. Japan's early history. Japan's first settlers probably came many thousands of years ago from the mainland. They lived by hunting and fishing. By 250 BCE, another group arrived from the mainland, bringing skills in weaving and working bronze and iron. They introduced the technique of growing rice in irrigated fields. Soon, rice became Japan's most important crop. By the 400 CE, the Yamamoto clan had gained control of much of Japan. Yamato emperors claimed descent from their sun goddess. As descendants of the sun goddess, Japanese emperors were thought to be living gods. How did Shotoku strengthen Japan? Even after the rise of the Yamato clan, Japan was not fully united. Then Prince Shotoku took power. He ruled on behalf of the empress, his aunt. Shotoku undertook the task of uniting Japan under a strong central government. First, he had to reduce the power of clans that still controlled parts of Japan. To do this, he encouraged the spread of Buddhism, which had arrived from Korea. He hoped the new religion would unite the people in one faith. He also supported Confucianism. Shotoku gave Japan its first guidelines for people, rulers, and government. They were based on Buddhist and Confucian ideas and suggested that power belonged only to a central government. Shotoku sent experts to China to study Chinese government. What they learned helped make Japan's government more like that of China. Later reforms. After Shotoku's death, other reformers carried on his efforts to create a strong central government. These reformers enacted the Taika reform. Taika means great change. New laws said that all land belonged to the emperor and that everyone was the emperor's subject. In addition, a new law code officially made the Yamato clan leader emperor. The new law code also defined crimes and punishments. These applied equally to everyone in Japan. Borrowing from neighbors. Before the time of the Yamato emperor, Japan had no written language. After contact with China, the Japanese adapted China's writing system. With the arrival of Buddhist monks from Korea, the Japanese mixed their ancient beliefs of Shinto with Buddhism. Alright, now let's recap. Japan's early history is like a cultural buffet with a side of geographic isolation. Positioned on a mountainous archipelago in the earthquake-prone Ring of Fire, Japan's farmers had to squeeze into the few flat areas while the coastline bustled with settlers. Early influences came from mainland Asia, Korea, and China, but Japan made their imports their own, from writing systems to rice farming. By 400 CE, the Yamato clan declared their emperors living descendants of the sun goddess, which is quite the family resume. Prince Shotoku jazzed things up in the 600s by promoting Buddhism, Confucianism, and central government power. Later reforms turned everything into the emperor's domain, creating order out of clan chaos. Despite all the borrowing, Japan added its unique flair, blending Shinto with Buddhism and forming a distinct culture that still shines today. There you have it, folks. That is the emergence of Japan nutshelled. Thanks for stopping by Nutshelled History. Domo arigato for smashing those like and subscribe buttons for me. See y'all next time on Nutshelled History.